Hello, my name is Brock, but most people like to call me Hyuntae. I'm a dancer and game designer, and I often come to Kakam for studying Korean and meeting friends and hanging out with people and studying. Part 2, let's talk about body language. Number 1, why do you think body language is important? Body language is an important form of communication, and as we know, like, communication is important for understanding people and in person. So body language is just another way to express communication. Number 2, how do you use body language in your daily life? I never am really that conscious about my body language, actually. I usually don't think about it too much. Sometimes I feel like I should think about it a little more, but when I'm trying to communicate with some friends, sometimes I might use hand gestures or just kind of, some way to express more of what I want to say. Question 3, how does body language help you to communicate? I think body language is useful for communicating, just for things like expressing a word or just more dramatic expression of a feeling. I think it's really useful for that. It can also just be useful to see how a person might be feeling in that moment. It can be useful for that as well. Question 4. How does your native culture use body language? What kind of body language do you use at school? What are some examples of body language that boys use? Women, boys, girls, children. I think in my culture, body language is really important. Especially like in the States and maybe amongst like Black people. We usually are very perceptive of body language, how a person looks, how they express on their face. We will be really sensitive to that. As far as what kind of body language to use at school, I don't really have any special idea for that, but probably it's best to try to be as confident as you can and to at least just look confident in yourself. I think some examples of body language that boys use is to try to be confident. They like to kind of show they're not shy or afraid in a situation. And I think maybe women or girls, they like to try to usually be more feminine or just kind of more relaxed compared to men or boys. And I think children are just quite free. Question 5. What actions are threatening? I think some actions that can be seen as kind of threatening are anything, usually when people are getting too close to you, maybe too much into your personal space, or just really giving you kind of a bad impression in a kind of physical way. Question 6. What actions are friendly? I think a lot of friendly actions are things like handshakes or hugging, or just kind of a gentle touch in appropriate areas. And just trying to be more physically soft. Yeah. Question 7. What actions are not allowed? I think as far as what actions are not allowed can depend on the person and how comfortable they are with you or with people. But I would say, in general, you don't want to be too much in someone's personal space or just touching them too much without any kind of established relationship. I think that those kind of things obviously shouldn't be allowed. Question 8. What new body language have you seen since coming to your new country? Did those actions confuse you? Since I came to Korea, there wasn't really anything that I found strange or that I didn't know about. Bowing is a little different compared to American culture, but I was mostly familiar with this on a personal level, so I never really found it strange. But one thing I do find a little, not strange, but just I notice a lot is the way that Korean people like to call someone over. They usually like to do something like this, whereas we're more like this, if that makes sense. Question 9. How does eye contact differ from your native country to your new one? For me, I think that compared to the States, compared to Korea, in the States, eye contact is, we're really kind of big on that. We like to make eye contact with people directly and kind of have full attention to them. Whereas in Korea, I noticed this is not quite as common. It is maybe kind of strange to make direct contact, eye contact, usually, at least compared to us in the States. Question 10. Do you try to use body language when you communicate in English? I'm not really sure. I guess maybe unconsciously I use body language when communicating in English, especially to my non-native English-speaking friends. If there's maybe some words they might not easily recognize, or maybe just for more dramatic expression, I might use some body language to help illustrate what I'm trying to say.